Good morning and welcome to another edition of Lakers Fast Break Spotlight on the Lakerholics weekend. My name is Jamie Sweet, as always, and with me is currently nobody right now. I don't know where everybody is. I don't know what's going on. I brought my banjo uh, just for shits and giggles because I'm not sure what we're going to talk about since it's just me. So if you have questions, feel free to drop them on in the chat. And if you have statements, feel free to drop them on in the chat. And if you're one of the people who's throwing sex objects on the court in WNBA games, you're a fucking loser. What a dickbag you are. Anyway, that's my take on that. That's my hot take on that situation. Listen, it's a wonderful Saturday morning here in Los Angeles, California, where the world is cooking and we're all going to burn alive. So, hey, what's up, Craigster? Craig Osterberg. I can't. It cuts off, so I'm just going to call you Craig. What's up, Craig? Howdy do. Yeah. So if you're tuned into the Luka Doncic Instagram account, which is a funny account to follow, it's a lot of him messing around with Austin Reeves for the most part, and pictures of his kids with their faces blurred out, which is the smart thing to do if you got kids and you're putting their pictures online and you're on any kind of famous whatsoever. But if you're tuned into either the Lakers Instagram account, which I'm imagining if you're on social media you are, and or if you are tuned into Luka, you can see awesome pictures. The pictures are super fun. It looks like they're having a great time in Slovenia. Never been to Slovenia. As far east as I've ever been in Europe. I'm not sure which is farther east, Prague or St. Petersburg in Russia. That's as far east as I've ever been on the European side of things. But it looks like a lovely place to spend some time. Slovenia looks like a lovely country. They went kayaking. I don't like that kind of kayaking. I like sea kayaking out in the ocean, or I like whitewater river rafting as opposed to whitewater river kayaking. I don't like getting spun around in the thing. Anyway, it looks like they're having a great time. Great team building exercise, and it really is the first moment I feel like of Luka making the team his. I hope more basketball than golf. Whatever. It's summer. There was a picture of them it looked like the Slovenian, wherever the Slovenian national team plays. They had that. It was green everywhere. So I'm assuming that's the national court or the national practice facility or what have you. But yeah, I just think it's good for them to do this. It's time to turn some kind of page. We'll talk a little bit here. I know Laker Tom was planning on being here. I don't know what the deal is, so I hope he's okay. I don't have my phone on me either, which means I can't see what's going on because I had to leave it charging in another room. Modern technology problems. We used to have answering machines that recorded onto tape. So just so you know, I had to explain that to my daughter the other day. I was like, you didn't used to be able to just watch whatever you wanted on TV. If you weren't at the TV when the thing was on, you missed it, and it was gone forever, unless it came back in reruns. Anywho, this is the Gen Xer in me coming out for a hot minute. Anyhow, so I'm hopeful that Laker Tom will be here soon, and or anybody from the Lakers Fast Break stable of commentators. It's the doldrums of summer. There's not a lot going on. We'll talk a little bit about some of the free agent signings, but first, this delicious sip of coffee. Oh yeah, baby. That hits the spot every time. Anywho, all right, so let's talk about DeMar DeRozan going to the Nuggets. I think that's a really good pickup for the Nuggets. I think he and Jokic are actually really going to do some interesting damage together. I know that traditionally DeMar DeRozan is a guy who kind of likes to make a lot of moves, has the ball in his hand. It is more, for lack of a better description, he's got more of a Kobe game than most of the guys that the Joker has played with in his career so far. The Joker, I think, is for the most part played in predominantly modern, spaced out, 4 or 5 out sets, 2 for the 3, guy in the dunker spot setting screens, some guys cutting along the backside. Aaron Gordon's really great at cutting in along the backside. None of that is DeMar DeRozan's game. So it's going to be an interesting situation to see how that all gels together. And as such, I'm curious to see. I'm assuming he's going to start. I'm assuming he's going to slide into the Peyton Watson spot, or whoever backed up Peyton Watson when he went down. There's a bevy of guys that was in and out for them last year. He might come off the bench. He might start. I wouldn't be surprised. 3 or 4 channels programming. Yeah, exactly. So Craig knows. Craig's at least 50. And that's exciting for me on a personal level. At least somebody else out there understands what it was like to watch TV before cable was predominant, and then certainly before streaming services, where just whatever you want is whenever you want, however you want. Kind of like Sizzler. Not great, but you can get whatever you want. I'm intrigued by the DeMar DeRozan addition to the Nuggets. I will say this. It's a shame when a team, and this is not just specific to the Nuggets and Peyton Watson. It's a shame for any team to develop a guy and then he basically prices himself off their roster. I don't believe that was the intended effect of the second apron. And I think that is it's maybe the most egregious thing that happens as a result of it. You spend hours and hours and hours, hundreds, thousands of hours developing a player, money, time, all of it. And then they're too good for you now. It doesn't make sense to me. You, as the team that developed this player, should have some avenue of retention. And you can make the argument, well, they can just trade so and such, la, la, la. But eventually you run out of draft picks. And if it's not a great player you're trying to trade, it makes it very difficult. If you have this situation where, this is not, the Denver Nuggets are not the sole, that's not the sole group of people that are having this issue, sole team. It just is a bummer. It's a bummer because I really would have liked to have seen that develop. Not just, everybody like, oh, I wish he'd become a Laker. Hey, there he is. Hold on a sec. Let's add Tom to the mix. Morning, Tom. Oh, no sunglasses. You are running. You are all over the place. Oh, there we go.
You've been listening to some good banjo music lately.
Thank you. Yeah. Well,
just for background and in some of the country songs that I like and so forth.
Nice. Some Earl Scruggs, maybe.
No, this was just a couple female singers that I've been listening to.
Well, that's all right. Get yourself into some Earl Scruggs, man. You'll get some down home picking. All right. So I was just talking about the DeMar DeRozan. So these are my thoughts, and I'd love to hear you weigh in. Morning, Tom. Michael H. will not join us. He's preparing for a trip. He's trying to escape the never-ending floods of Hawaii. And if you're in one of the many places where the United States of America used to send this entity called FEMA to help you out, but that just doesn't happen anymore. I don't even want to get into the why, but Gary, Indiana, Hawaii, I'm sure I'm forgetting someplace that's on fire or underwater, or maybe both. Maybe it's on fire while it's underwater. We're just experiencing all sorts of wonderful new things in the world these days. It's just
if you're a blue state.
Well, no, hey man, we're not on fire here in LA. It's hot. I'm hot. I got the AC on, which I normally don't turn on the AC. I usually just have a couple fans going. But I went for the AC today because I didn't want to be schwitzy. I'm just chilling out. We're doing a show. Anyway, we'll get off time. I'm sure this is the stuff Gerald loves to sift through when he's listening to the shows again. I'm sure he loves all this sort of banter. So don't worry, Gerald. There's more coming for forever because I never stop, never stopping. I was just talking about the unfortunate. It's. So I know you'll have a slightly different take on this. I think it's always unfortunate when a team develops a player. They spend hours and money and time and all of these resources getting him from an okay rookie to a serviceable role player, if not a star.
Who are we talking about?
Peyton Watson. And then they price themselves out of your team. They're just too good for you now.
Right.
And you could make the argument, well, they should have traded this player. They should have done this, that, or the other thing to make room for the player. But the Nuggets are out of draft picks. There's no way they're going to they can't trade Christian Braun. Nobody wants Braun. Not for the salary that is currently being paid, right? And the Lakers have every team,
and they have no draft picks too.
That's what I'm saying. There's nothing to entice a team. Yeah. So they back themselves into a corner. You could argue that that's the GM's fault, but I do agree. I will counter that with I think it is an unintended effect of the CBA, the second apron specific, that it punishes teams for making players good. Yeah. It really, truly does. It really, truly punishes teams for making players good, and they price themselves off their roster. And
it's not only that. It's not only that though, because they made a serious error with Braun's contract. It was
They
way
did.
too much.
He had a tremendous year. Nobody said that was a bad contract the summer that he signed it. It wasn't until halfway through the following season that everybody.
Well, it's always because the contract alone is not a big deal. It's the context in which the contract was made that they're in a situation where they're over the second apron, and once you go over the second apron, you are so restricted in what you can do.
There's a question: Did the Braun contract come through before the second apron existed? Do we know? Or did
I'm well, regardless of what came first or second, it's
right there.
The problem is that you have to plan for basically everybody in the NBA except for Denver and occasionally other teams understand that the hard cap is the second apron. You just can't go over it.
I mean, you can. In theory.
Yeah, you can, but it's like a suicide. You have the best player in the world,
and you're not building around him,
and you are paralyzed your entire front office, so you couldn't even get under the second apron with Peyton Watson as the bait.
They're not going to get into the same way. Exactly. They're not going to get in. Nobody's trying to, and everybody's like, nobody wants to do the Lakers favor. Nobody wants to do anybody favor in the second apron era.
Right.
They want a draft pick for taking on a contract, even if it's a decent player.
Even draft picks are worth a lot of money.
They're the grease. It's like engine oil it's like oil for your engine. Nothing works without it anymore.
Yeah.
Thank you, Danny Ainge.
Second rounders have now become first rounders, and first rounders are like low, like lottery pick first round.
Of youth.
Yeah, it is. It's
youth, man.
Exactly.
Anyways, I just think it's one of the things. I wish there was a mechanism, and I hope that a mechanism is added, that if you drafted a player and that there's a way to, like how the franchise tag in football doesn't necessarily count, like just a way to like go outside the box of the cap, provided you drafted the player. If you pick the guy, if you've spent all this time and money
they let him lock him up for 7 years. Come on. What more do you want? I mean, really.
The player can choose not to sign that rookie extension. That's been happening. That's starting to happen as well. Where there's and like
it's rare. It's rare that it really happens.
No, and like agents. Well, I'm sure the agent is like, you should lock up this money now, especially while I'm still your agent, and I'm going to get the 10% of that cash money. I would like to see that money for myself as well.
You're going to give up generational money for your family for a shot at 50 to 100 million,
Well, that's the Jonathan Kuminga conundrum, right? That's the Kuminga conundrum that we're watching play out.
Turned down $45 million, which is generational wealth for your family and your friends.
What did he turn down from the Warriors? Do you remember? 25 or 30?
I don't know. It
was a while ago now.
See, I've been a strong advocate for not. We're going to give up draft capital. It's probably going to take all 3 seconds.
No.
It's going to take all 3 seconds to get rid of it.
Kuminga's not on the Slovenia trip. He can't be a Laker. If you didn't go to Slovenia, you're not a Laker this season.
I would be fine with that. I mean, I've never been in the history of this particular podcast or the Lakerholics blog. I've never been the guy who says, let's run it back with what we got now.
Oh, I am.
But yeah, well, you're always that way, Jay. That's always been our major conflict of interest.
That's this guy.
But at any rate, that's where I'm at now. I don't care if we make another move, but I don't want to give up any of our draft capital.
We can't give up. No, and we can't. If there's a way, and there's not. This is the thing. Everybody's gonna say, well, if you do this, if you're the only way you move any one of LaRavia, Connect, Vando, Bronny, any one of those 4. There might be a guy that I'm missing. Hardy, maybe. You're attaching a draft pick, at least a second rounder.
Yep.
Yeah, I know.
And if you have to make a 3-team trade, you got to at least have 2 seconds. That's the least harm that Kuminga could do. If you can get him for a second for Atlanta for
They're not interested in any of our players.
And a second for somebody else to take on.
And Tom, when you bring into it, all you're doing with because you're not trading a 1-for-1. Atlanta's got 17 players on the roster already.
That's a big problem with a lot of people, but
this is the problem. This is the problem.
It's a problem they got anyway, and everybody almost has it. There's very few open roster spots. There's no cash money other than some people have MLEs. I think 2 teams have the MLE. Minnesota might be one of them, which means you're only making like what, $6 million MLE.
$6 million MLE. So that's not your $5 million payday you were hoping for.
Right.
And he's gonna.
But that's why we're going to lose. Thankfully, I think that's why we're going to lose Kuminga.
I hope
he'll take a 1-year deal with the MLE.
So there's something to remember.
You can't on a sign and trade. It's got to be 3 years.
No, that's the thing. You got to do it with the team that's not hard capped. If you're hard capped, you're hard. So this guy has no wiggle room. Yeah. There's 2 teams, and somebody just put a bunch of this. There's 2 teams.
I hope the hell he doesn't take our 3-year offer.
I don't know that we can offer a 3-year deal anymore. Not without doing a sign and trade. And I just don't see
sign and trade.
I don't see
all we can do is sign and trade him.
That's not going to happen with Atlanta. They'll have.
If we give them $15 million, we only got $8 million of room under the first
I don't see that happening.
So you gotta trade at least. See, I think you have to trade even more than just a $6 million. One of our 2 $6 million players.
No, you got to trade like 4 guys, dude. There's like we're gonna have to trade 4 guys, 3 or 4 guys for Kuminga. And now what? Atlanta's got.
No, we're not gonna. It's a sign and trade where he's. And what sign and trade where you're matching salaries for $15 million, and we've got $8 million room under. We've got $8 million room under the cap, which means you have to include a $7 million worth of contracts.
Yeah, I just don't see it happening. I don't see it.
I hope not.
I don't see it happening. And,
I've already written a half a dozen articles against spending draft capital on Kuminga or using any of the. If I even going to spend draft capital, go out and get a guy like Makovich or somebody who can really help the team.
I have an outside of the box idea of what's going to happen with Jonathan Kuminga, and he's not going to like it, but his agent will.
What's your prediction?
And then he should fire his agent. He's going to play overseas. He's going to make money overseas. He can get paid a lot more money overseas than he can get paid in the NBA. And if money is, and this is the thing, it's clearly not the role, right? There's a dollar amount that Jonathan Kuminga believes he shouldn't have to go below under to suit up for an NBA team.
I don't think that. Listen, I live in Northern California, man. I watched a lot of Warriors basketball. I watched a lot of Kuminga. I've read every day in the local news and so forth. I've been through this whole thing. The guy doesn't care about the role.
This is what I'm saying.
The role is he wants the ball. Which
and he
wants a horrible fit for Luka Doncic, who keeps
he wants the money. You know, he wants the money is more important than the ball.
The money is more important than winning or the role.
This is what I'm saying. And so why does anybody want this guy on the team? And this is why I'm saying.
Well, that's why he's where he is.
And that's why he's going to play overseas. He'll play in Turkey. He'll play in
Japan. Somebody will sign him for the $6 million the taxpayer MLE.
I hope Minnesota does. I hope he goes to Minnesota. That's where I hope. That's what I'm hoping right now.
That's probably everybody's guess at this point in time.
I don't know that Milwaukee still has space for him. Does it? Yeah. I mean, yeah, everybody's saying the same thing. Kuminga held out with the Warriors doesn't mean missing part of the season. Lakers can give him the most. No, I don't know that we can. I mean, I guess we can dollar-wise.
We can long-term, but
I hope we don't. I would rather us.
He can stomach getting underpaid for a year, but he can't stomach getting underpaid for 2 years.
But sign Michael Cooper, man. Like, let's just bring Coop back. If we're going to sign Kuminga, give me Cooper instead. He can sit at the end of the bench. He doesn't even need to play. I just want his wisdom there to help people learn how to play defense. All right, let's move on from this because this is literally the most boring topic in the NBA to me is what's going to happen to Jonathan Kuminga. My give a shit meter's at -7 on that one. I just don't give a shit. He doesn't impact winning very much, which he proved in Atlanta when they basically were like, yeah, we don't even need you in the playoffs, guy. All right, so DeMar DeRozan to the Nuggets, no big surprise there. I think that he was hoping to end up on the Heat. I think it's probably a better fit for him in the Mile High City than it is in Miami. And Miami, once again, somehow gets through the entire summer with no shooting. Mm-hmm. There's no shooting in Miami again. It's 83 cheap, and
they're getting Clay.
Yeah, they're getting the ghost of Klay Thompson on the vet minimum or whatever.
Hey, he lives around me.
Yeah, he can vote. He can vote around
every so often
around Miami.
Every few days or every few weeks we see him at the grocery store.
Oh, that's nice. I know. Listen, I feel bad for Klay. I think that in hindsight, he wished he had done the Laker deal for less money.
You see the video where he hit 92 straight corner threes?
Yeah.
I mean,
in practice, but yeah. It's not real. It's not the game, but yeah.
Well, cool. Yeah, it's like nobody really understands how fucking good these pros are.
They're so good. That's not the point.
Especially the guys like Curry and Clay.
Yeah, Clay's, listen, when you have a number of lower leg injuries that Klay Thompson has gone through and is still able to impact the NBA game at a decent level, that's impressive to me.
Yeah,
he's not what the Lakers
need. He can just play defense. I mean,
no, he's not the defender.
The game into a 4-on-4 game offensively because nobody's going to leave him open.
And I don't know how available he'll be. I mean, he played a lot last season. He played in the majority of the game. So, if he can play, he's going to play.
We got $13 million.
You got $13 million from Miami?
Yep.
I thought it was for the vet minimum. That's nice. Good job, Clay. Way to recoup
some. It's better than the vet minimum.
Yeah, that's
what I thought it was when he.
Me too. That's like a 400% increase on what I thought it was going to be. So good job, Clay. But you've got a great.
He's still getting $3.5 million because of how much his time of service.
Yeah, Kuminga's not smart enough to fire his agent. Yeah, no, I'm putting that up there. Exactly. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if they're in love, him and his agent. I couldn't tell you.
You got on-court and off-court baggage both.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, he was Oladipo's agent, and he sent out a workout video of Oladipo, and I was like, "Bro, are you hard up for cash right now? Like, what?
Move on, next subject.
My friend, I don't care if he's under 40. Like, it's just not happening. Like,
let's talk about Jeanie Buss.
Why? There's nothing going on there.
Wow.
I find this to be. I mean, I'm going to say this instead. It's not Jeanie Buss isn't the problem. This is my problem with basically everything right now. We have entered a phase of planetary reality where a very small group of people just do what they want. And if you have $2+ billion and you want to flip a sports team, no problem. Go ahead. Flip it. It's like taking an old rundown house in a crummy neighborhood and starting the gentrification process up. Flip your team. Who cares about the community? Who cares about the millions of fans who might like your team? Who cares? That's secondary to the profit. And then you just saw it again with the guy who spent years fighting Glenn Taylor to own the Timberwolves. His life's passion. But also I have to release this really important product, so I'm stepping down. And I can't do it anymore. It's too much. I don't have enough time with my billions of dollars.
There's another side of that coin too.
So,
the other side of that coin is all of the horrible, almost overbred idiots that have been running major sports teams because they inherited from their father or their,
I mean, Jeanie won a ring, so
listen. Out of 11 rings, Jeanie won one effing ring in 13 years of ownership.
Okay, that's
10 of the 11 rings that we own as Lakers came under Jeanie Buss's ownership.
Sure, I will never disagree with that.
So, aside from not understanding the game, being almost simplistic in her strategic long-term thinking and having no ability to trust anybody but her close circle of friends, she's basically left probably 3 or 4 championships on the floor.
I don't know about that. I think that's
and the best thing, and she's such a disillusioned woman at this point in time to think that anybody believes that the new owners want her, that she's a plus to have in the front office, that she's a plus to have as a minority shareholder or as the governor of the team. Forget it, man. They are looking for every opportunity to dump her and all of this bullshit that's going on with the legality of the trust and so forth, none of that matters, because if they're the majority shareholders, they can fire her or make her life totally miserable. They can get rid of her if they want, and they're definitely going to not want to. I mean, Iger said in his speech when he said they're going to keep Jeanie on, he says, but if things change, they change. And man, there's been so much going on with this circus that you can see. I mean, this girl has fired, since the sale, she's fired 3 of her 5 siblings. The other one, we all know, she fired Jim, banished him forever. I mean, she's standing all alone. Nobody in the organization wants her to remain. She doesn't understand why the fans would even be supportive of wanting to see the Lakers not owned by the Busses. I'll tell you why. The last 13 years, we've had our hopes dashed over and over and over by Rob Pelinka making career-ending mistakes over and over. And now, you know, we have the best probably job that Rob has done in his reign as the general manager and president of basketball operations. By far the best job he's done so far, even though he could screw it up by signing and trading for Gavinga. But
we'll see. The team hasn't played yet. We'll see what the team actually looks like.
I like the team as it is, and it's got a couple of holes, but you can't fill everything in one summer. And a smart move is to wait until the trade deadline or next off season to fix it. I mean, anybody can see that who's got a brain. Anybody. And to think that you want to go after Jokic, come on. With what? With 3 second-round picks and
Walker Kessler and everything else that we have. That's what the deal would be. That's why I honestly believe that's why we maxed out Walker Kessler and for salary.
Well, you know what Mark Walter was probably thinking when he bought the Lakers? He was probably thinking of. I read this on Reddit. It's kind of interesting. You know that you can continue to trade your first-round pick swaps, even if you've traded him to another team.
Yes.
They were planning to have a major thing where they trade all of their swaps again, maybe 2 or 3 times. Because think about it. The 2 swaps we got with
no, you're not saying that correctly. You can only trade a swap for a swap. And if what you're talking about is sending the pick out, that swap out.
We get let's say that here's an example, is a perfect example. The 2 picks that we swapped, the 2 pick swaps we gave to Utah as part of the Walker Kessler deal.
Yes, we now have Utah's or ours.
What are the chances that Utah is going to have a better record than we do? Nobody. Right.
We keep our pick in most of those.
That didn't cost us anything. Everybody knows that.
It will if we have a worse record.
We go to Oklahoma City.
That's an assumption. You're making.
Wait.
But you are making an assumption. You are making an assumption, and
the assumption is that Utah is never going to want to swap with us because our pick is going to be worse.
Maybe.
No, but let's say just follow the logic.
It's amazing.
So then this has happened. And there's several cases where, let's say you go to Oklahoma City. Man, I love it. And you say, we'll do a swap for those 2 years that we traded to Utah. That's a good swap because Utah's out of the whole question. Oklahoma City knows that, there's a pretty good chance that they could be a better pick by swapping with the Lakers. And Utah's going to be out of that deal. They become 3rd choice option. Any rate, if the way that they played, the way that Walter played with his money to build up the money to buy the goddamn Lakers, combined with his ability to pull his deferred contract situation out of his rear, he was trying to do the same thing with the Lakers, with the whole idea of just selling all of the swaps that we've given away. We can sell them again.
We can trade them, yes, for not other swaps. I don't think.
You can. There's several situations that Oklahoma City's been doing where they're part of a 3-way swap. And every year
man. It's like the 70s all over again.
Yeah. And it's because and the reason that people were able to trade that is the understanding that if you've got a swap with them, that it's going to happen. It's not going to happen, man. Or it's going to happen because of the disparity.
All right. Somebody's asking me a question. I know Jamie wasn't a fan of Mark, our Kushner, and Iger a lot worse. This all came out of nowhere.
Well, they're better. They're a better opportunity.
It really depends on what you mean by worse. Do you mean like worse as human beings? I don't know. Worse in terms of their business dealings? Better. Worse in terms of running the team?
The Lakers have owners that aren't in trouble.
So I don't know what's worse or not.
Have owners that aren't in trouble.
Tom, I'm trying to answer a question, for fuck's sake. Jesus Christ. I'll let you blather on.
I was answering the question too.
Man. I'll let you answer the question too. How about that?
No problem.
Jesus. Anyway, I was trying to say, and then Tom just started talking too. I don't know. I didn't even have much of an opinion on Mark as an owner. He owned the team for like 2 days. It wasn't a very long stewardship of the franchise, and most of his moves involved firing long-term employees. So I don't know. You tell me. We'll see what happens. I was not very thrilled with Mark Walters as a new owner. I guess I'm like 1% more thrilled with these guys. I don't really care. I just don't want them to ruin the team any more than that has been ruined over the years by weird NBA deal structures that seem to handicap the Lakers and other teams and empower small market teams to play as if they were in the same pool. But that's my take on that entire situation. I don't think teams should be geographically punished for being in cool spots. It's not their fault. It's not the Lakers' fault that they moved to Los Angeles before anybody else did. Plenty of teams could have moved to Los Angeles before the Lakers did. You know what? They didn't. Sorry. That's not me. That's not the Lakers' fault. Blame whoever owned the team at the time, man. So maybe they'll be better. We'll see. This whole Buss family drama, as Tom was saying, has been interesting. I have a slightly different take. I don't have the same amount of Jeanie Buss disdain that many Laker fans seem to have. I mean, I get it. Things have not panned out well. I would have fired Rob 5 seasons ago. For whatever reason, she didn't. I don't know what those reasons are. They're probably not very good. But, I'm not going to take away that she won a ring for the tie. She got us tied with the Celtics for 2 whole seasons before they won one.
Took 13 years to do it.
I mean, listen, dude, there are still teams that haven't won a championship.
That have been in the league for more than 1 out of 13, huh?
I'm just saying.
Hey, listen.
If you're no, hold on. Let me put it to you this way: if your barometer for success is only champions all the time, and there are several teams that have never won one, and you're still trying to put this person on the same level as those teams, I find that disingenuous. I don't think that is an accurate or fair comparison. I mean, how long have how long has Utah been a basketball team?
Yeah, well, it's
50 plus years.
They don't have a lot of advantages that the Lakers have.
They have every advantage that the Lakers have these days. The CBA nukes everybody. Well, they've chosen to tank for 5 years running.
In a league dominated by elite black athletes who don't want to go to Utah. Wow. I mean, let's be honest about that.
Or they could have just.
Who wants to go to Utah? I don't want to go to Utah.
I don't want to go to Utah either.
Nobody wants to go to Utah. Well, I mean, it's my turn now.
My point is that you literally just changed the discussion from the owner isn't the problem. Now it's the location.
So, the owner, when you look at the two owners, when you look at the two ownership groups, you look at Mark Walter versus Josh Kushner and Bob Iger, you have to realize one thing, that by buying the Lakers from Walter,
this I agree with.
Iger and Kushner saved the Lakers from a horrible situation. The Dodger fans better not blink, because they aren't out of the woods either.
Oh,
this guy has built an amazing house of cards, and he's trying left and right to try to capture it. And the last thing the Lakers want to do is to be associated with that whole disaster.
Well, this is my theory. My theory on why he sold the Lakers and why he would probably try to sell the Sparks. He's already sold his share in that soccer team. I always forget what the soccer team is called. I don't really care about soccer. But the reason he sold the Lakers is because they're not playing. There's no money coming in from the games. The Dodgers are making money right now. There's more games in baseball, so you're every time. I don't know how many home games there are in baseball. 81, 82, 80, something.
I don't know if he's that hard up. That's small change. That's small change.
You don't think
he's got like 120 million, 20 billion.
Are the Dodgers going to the playoffs?
Got to do it.
Are the Dodgers going to the playoffs?
The Dodgers are probably going to win again. Hey,
so that means multiple playoff games at Dodger Stadium. That means multiple average
millions. We're talking billions that he's trying to raise.
Wow.
Billions.
Why is he selling everything that he can then?
Well, yeah, but to sell something for it's the
I'm saying is
anybody who thinks that we didn't dodge a major financial and public relations bullet by selling the team at that point in time that we did is crazy.
I think
if
that
was the owner of the Lakers, it would be 10 times the circus that it is right now.
If you I mean that's this is what nobody really knows, right? We don't know to what degree his liquidity has been compromised, right? He could have, because this is my other take on billionaires. None of them actually have billions of dollars. It's all like evaluations and property that they own, and all that contributes to this illusion of being, Scrooge McDuck, where you're swimming in a giant 4-story vault of gold coins and just
true. But there's a tier where there's a tier where they would really, the joke about being able to spend your father's fortune, where that family, some of these families will never ever be able to outspend the revenue that they have.
Sure, but I don't think that that's Mark Walters.
No, Mark Walters is being honest. Mark Walters is built like, it's a house of cards, man.
This is what I'm saying, and this is the other thing. This is why I think that my point about the Dodgers making him actual cash money right now in the moment is pertinent, because if you are having
that cash money is chicken feed.
It is. It is to the idea of a billionaire. It's not. Okay. Well,
his thinking is big of what I got to sell this. I got to sell Chelsea, or I got to sell the TV rights to the Lakers and the Dodgers.
He'll sell the Dodgers as soon as the season's over. I'm willing to bet it right now.
From that standpoint, I could buy your argument for timing of when he was going.
That's all I'm saying. He's going to make the money off the Dodgers because they're playing now. They're making him money now.
Well, he's got till the end of the year to straighten this out.
Yeah, maybe he gets it figured out by the end of the year, and he's like, well, we can hold on to the Dodgers. Oh, thank God. Or he's like, well, sell them now. I'm done making money.
The other thing with the Jeanie thing that we didn't mention that's kind of funny is she's pushing everybody to sell for 10 billion. And then 14 months later, the guy flips it for 2.5 billion more.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think that her 5 sisters and brothers?
Well, I think that was
about that. It's sort of like, geez, Jeanie, we should have had an auction.
Well, I mean, there's that. Sure, you could have done that, but it would have been like, I think that I think that it's funny because and maybe people don't remember this. If you follow the Lakers in the early part of the social media era, 2000 to like 2015. Whatever was going on behind the scenes was also on TV. The Laker franchise was leakier than a tub shot full of holes with a shotgun. Information trickled out of the Lakers endlessly. Under the end of the Jerry Buss rule, up through the Jeanie Buss takeover, when Jim was in charge for a little while, everybody knew what was going on behind the scenes. And then the last 3 years, this is one of my favorite things about what's gone on in the last 3 years. That's all dried up. There's hardly any more leaks coming out of the ship anymore.
Well,
what's going on?
The ship hasn't done anything.
Could they have pulled off the Luka trade under Jim Buss?
Did they what?
Could they have pulled off the Laker trade under Jim Buss in the absolute silence.
Well, I don't think he could pull off anything under Jim Buss. Listen, I may have been critical of Jeanie, but she's probably the smartest of the 6 of them.
Yeah, I mean, I think that goes without saying. And she's also the most like skilled in terms of like she was raised doing this. Do you know what I mean? Like she's
got the best PR image, or
and
she
used
to have the best PR image.
I think we still have a top 5 PR image, and I think it's more that like this is what else is anybody going to talk about NBA related in the summer but the Lakers? Nobody cares what's happening in Portland. Nobody cares.
That's silly. It isn't because the Lakers are the Lakers. It's because the crazy things that are happening.
No, but I mean, this was last summer.
Trade for Luka, and then you have the trade for Luka in the middle of the whole thing. Then now you have the sale. Oh, now you have another sale. It's like,
right.
Oh,
now she wants back in. No, I hear you. No, it is like Dallas, the soap opera Dallas. If you remember that from the 80s. Yep. Some people. Tom, I think definitely remembers.
No, definitely, I'm old enough to remember
it. Listen, I had to explain to my daughter the other day that that it used to be that you couldn't just watch what you wanted when you wanted, whenever you like.
Oh yeah.
If you weren't in front of the TV when something was happening, you missed it.
Yep.
It came and went without you, and there was no going back. Not unless you happened to own a VCR and remembered to record one channel. There were 2 things you wanted to watch. You had to choose. You had to make a tough choice.
I've seen all those Laker highlights live.
Oh, man. You would watch KCAL 9.
Live on television.
I loved KCAL 9 for so many years because I didn't have cable. I didn't want to have cable, but I could watch away games for free on Channel 9, local TV. It was amazing. And then that went away.
Yeah, I can imagine, though, I lived in California my entire life, except for one year I spent in New York, man. I tell you, in New York, the Lakers, you never even hear the scores of the game. I mean, I'm old enough when the only thing that you'd get for a game would be you'd go to the liquor store and you'd find the sports magazines,
right?
And you'd take 4 or 5 of them just to put together a series of Lakers articles that you probably wouldn't even read today.
It's not the way it was. It's not the way it was.
Well, what's funny too is I was just telling my wife, imagine your daughters or granddaughters have had photos in their life from smartphones from the time they're born.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
life is basically
my life started like when the photos started, and it's like there's nothing before then.
TV.
Who knows where? Do you know where your old photographs are, or your old?
Right. Who needs TV? By the way, Tom, who needs TV Guide anymore? Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody needs TV Guide.
They don't even know what TV Guide is.
Don't even know what TV.
TV Guide was what the rich people bought. We used the one from the Sunday newspaper.
Right, exactly. All right, so let's talk about something. Let's move on. Let's move on from the money people. I hate money people anyway. No offense to anybody. If you're a fan and you're a money person.
How about the Slovenian trip?
That's what I want to talk about. I'm assuming you've been keeping up on the Instagram and what have you. It looks super fun. And I really, 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 and I love that like Luka basically is like, I get that this is crazy, so I'm gonna pay for you all to come. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like, hey, meet me in Vegas, right?
It's $500,000.
Dude, he's spending a chunk of change to get everybody out there, and I'm sure he's putting them all up, and they're all staying like roughly together. And I love that he's doing everything that he needs to do, both for his team and for his life. I don't think it can be overstated how important it is for a parent to feel like that their home life is like solid, that you don't have to worry about your kids, that you don't have to. Well, his. You
gotta remember the guy's playing in a foreign country.
He was he's not American, and so
if you listen to, I've never heard Slovenian speech before, the language, but I went through. I saw a little TikTok thing where he was teaching Austin how to pronounce things in Slovenian.
Oh no, Austin's great.
Like, and even the name for basketball doesn't. It's like a totally different word that you never.
It's all over the place.
It's totally. It's great, and the accents and thing is like mixing Mandarin with Spanish or something.
Of course, Brownie, shut up.
It's crazy.
Okay, real quick. I like to give Joe Soros a hard time about Bronny James because Joe doesn't love Bronny. I don't love Bronny. I don't have many like Jeanie. I don't have Jeanie anger. I don't have Bronny anger. He's the 55th pick in his draft. What are we getting all worked up about? Show me another 55th pick you ever got this worked up about, and I'll eat my hat. And the answer is nobody ever gets worked up about the 55th pick. The only reason people got worked up,
but he's worth it because
he's definitely
imagine the moments that LeBron had with him.
But did you hear his quote when somebody said like, "Hey, how do you feel about?" And this is Bronny must have the hardest life because all you're ever going to get is questions about your dad.
Yeah, of course. Well,
not what you've done, not what you're doing. Hey, dude,
and being a famous person's son is,
it's like going to the fire department with your dad.
You know, it's a challenge.
Oh, definitely. But I think he navigates it well, and it's one of the things I like about Bronny.
It's why I like him. It's why I like him. And
yeah, dude, I think Bronny's cool. Bronny's fine.
I also understand how wonderful those basketball moments are that you have with your son or your grandson.
Joe, don't lie. You wouldn't buy insurance from Bronny James. Come on, man. So anyway, if you didn't hear or you didn't see, somebody said, "Hey, Bronny, what do you think about your dad going to Philadelphia?" And he goes, "I don't know. It's my dad." I loved it. It's just like dead face, could give a shit. So my thinking is that like this is going to be Bronny's favorite NBA season of his life because he's not going to have to deal with his dad every damn day.
Unless he gets cut.
Oh man, I mean, we'll see. He's like what, the third on our guard depth chart at this point, maybe fourth, depending on how you feel about James Hardy. I could.
Hardy is actually.
He could play. He could play. I'm not trying to discount him. I was amazed at what we got for Ayton. I'm still to this day. It's maybe Rob's best trade ever.
Two picks, and
I love the Luka trade. Don't get me wrong, but that is kind of masterful. Like you got something for pretty much the worst player on our team. That's amazing. So I'll always give Rob props for that trade, and for that's about it. That's about the end of my props for Rob. He's like, "Oh, the Russell Westbrook trade." I'm like, "Yeah." When he was an expiring contract, he was able to move him for like 4 okay players. None of them are on the roster anymore. Wow, you traded a Hall of Famer for nobody. That's incredible. Who saw that?
There's really been a. It's like looking at the trade of the Celtics player. You'd think that Brown would get a better price than
Paul George and a couple of picks. I will be very curious.
No, it's because it's the salary, man. $60 million.
But it wasn't
$60 million. Just could be 4 MLE players.
Yeah, but I mean, he's worth it. He carried the team last season.
Yeah, I know, but
he carried the team last season, and he plays great with Tatum.
But he's one of those statistical anomalies that the analytics people hate him. He's the only guy who does not shine analytically.
No, Giannis doesn't shine analytically.
Well, I don't know about that. Giannis is so good to the eye test that
I mean, I don't love him, but Bam Adebayo doesn't shine analytically.
How do you think? Let's talk about let's switch the subject. Talk about Giannis and Luka together.
Well, that's not happening. So
no, it's not happening. But do you think that they could play together? For example, you notice Giannis, not Giannis, but Jokic makes $60 million a year.
Sure.
Reeves and Walker Kessler make $70 million a year. Now you can't trade with them because they can't take more money in than they send out.
You could throw.
But it's interesting. But it's an interesting trade because they would get Kessler to replace Jokic.
I mean, you gotta really believe in Jamal Murray at that point if you're Denver or you're rebuilding.
Oh no, you got Walker Kessler with him. Okay, but wait, we switch down. You switch down, and on our side, then you have to give something more because they're improved pretty dramatically to have Kessler and also get Austin. Okay, so you got to get a third team basically, because there's nobody else on their team that the Lakers would like as the compensation for the other 10 million, and because the Lakers could include something. But it's an interesting 3-team trade, because once you get to a 3-team trade, also the salary matching is totally different.
So hard to do. I mean, this is such a theoretical exercise that I can't wrap my brain around it right now.
But all the stuff everybody says the Lakers are going after them.
No. Let me address the one part of your hypothetical situation that I can wrap my head around, and that's the basketball fit. And I think that would be like Kobe and Gasol. I think it would be magical. I think it would be a lot of fun to watch. I don't think it would be a problem with sharing the ball. I don't think, because it comes down to trust, right? It wasn't that Kwame Brown was such a terrible player that he couldn't be a part of a winning team.
Couldn't catch the ball, man.
Well, he couldn't catch the ball.
That was Aiden's problem too. Bad hand.
But beyond that, and this is true of Kobe on all of his teams, not just that team. If he didn't trust you, by that I mean your work ethic, your off the court demeanor, the way you carry yourself on the court as a basketball player, not just did you score, did you read? There was so much more to it that people don't actually give Kobe credit for. He wanted complete basketball players on his teams, people who understood that time and work off the court was what made you great, not like that you hit that crazy shot.
Well, he had a higher standard than everybody else did.
He had a higher standard, but Gasol had an equally high standard. The guys that he wanted around him had equally high standards. And, you could say like, well,
when you have a team with 5 guys who have good basketball intelligence, it just makes the game so much easier for everybody.
Oh man, this is great. Even a blind squirrel gets a nut every once in a while. Sorry, this is great. Craig, this is what did I do here? There we go. Oh man, Craig, this is a great one. Even a blind squirrel gets a nut every once in a while. Rob Pelinka. Anyway, I think that Jokic, it's clear that, somebody in the Lakers front office has penciled Jokic in as the future center of the Los Angeles Lakers. Whether that happens or not, I think there's an incredible mountain to climb there, starting with Jokic himself, who every year says the same thing. My counter to that, my own point would be, what else is he supposed to say? Yeah, I can't wait to leave. Nobody ever says that to the media. Nobody ever says yeah, Denver's okay, but I've played in better places. You're just not going to say that. So of course he's going to say every time, I want to be a Denver Nugget for life.
He's a strange guy, though. He's not a guy I expect to leave.
No, not. I think that this is a very make or break season for the Denver Nuggets. I think of all the teams in the NBA, they stand the most to gain.
They can lose him?
I think that if he goes into the summer and says, I want to see what you guys do, and doesn't sign that extension, they are going to be forced to trade him. Because the idea that the following summer he could walk away for absolutely nothing,
that would be scary.
It'd be devastating.
And
it'd be devastating.
Also, if he does that, he knows that by not signing the extension, he is going to be traded.
100%.
Because they can't gamble. A small market franchise like that.
Everybody has to talk this way in the media to not piss off fans, right?
Which was why it was really important for the Lakers to end up with a couple of guys making 30 and 40 million.
I agree. I don't think we could have.
It doesn't have to be Jokic, but that's the next evolution of the Lakers is trading them. If you trade for a center,
I don't know. We'll see. We haven't even seen these guys play yet. I'm not trading.
There's a point where Reeves will be under. Reeves already will go into the season under heavy pressure to show that he's worth 40 million.
And Joe, you are right. Kwame Brown was a pretty terrible basketball player. My point was more about the standards and the work ethic than his on-court impact. I would never go so far as to say Kwame Brown was a good basketball player. He was great at catching cupcakes. All right. He's going to end up on a team like Boston. No, Boston, nobody wants to play in Boston. Nobody wants to play for Boston. That's why they have to trade all their good guys for mediocre guys who then they'll trade for other smaller good guys. And they'll fade away into obscurity until they draft well again. And it'll be under a totally different GM. Anyway, that's my
they're one of the top 3 front offices in the league, in my opinion.
Boston?
Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Played underage, and And by moving the coach up to be the new general manager, I think was a smart move.
We'll see. I mean, if Brown goes off and wins MVP,
the other Ainge left also for to join his brother in Utah.
Ainge is from Utah, so
yeah,
whatever that means. All right, we'll see. I don't much think about Utah other than the fact that I think that Danny Ainge ruined trades by the Rudy Gobert trade. All right, so we got about we got a few minutes left here. What else do we want to talk about? Let me look at your points. Oh, 5-man rotation. Who are your starters this year, Tom? Without seeing, again, we haven't seen anybody play basketball.
Well, assuming we don't go out and trade it for anybody of real consequence, we won't trade any of our starters. I would go with obviously Luka and Austin in the backcourt and Kessler at center. Yeah. And I think that Grimes is obviously the choice at small forward because our small forward has to guard whoever Luka can't guard, which is probably the best. Luka or Reeves can't guard, which is probably the best guard on the other team. Yeah. And then on power forward, I would probably go with Williams at this point in time, so even though he's played starter minutes.
There's no way you see Sexton starting.
No, because I think Sexton is the ideal sixth man, and the problem is you don't want to have all three of your playmakers on the court at the same time, really.
Let's see.
Plus, he's not, he doesn't, he complicates the defensive thing because he's worse defensively than.
Well, that's true. You can't really play. It'll be hard to play Luka, Reeves, and Sexton together. That's a good point. Defensively, it'll be hard to play Luka.
I think that there's something to be said about playing Mamu as the starter, and there's something to be said with Jake as a starter. If Jake got hot in preseason and training camp, he could be your best choice. By the same token, if you're going to play Mamu on the floor, his best opportunity to be effective and not be killing us on defense is alongside Kessler, who can protect him, can protect the rim while he's on the court.
Well, this is that. I like that. There's a couple of people who have their picks up. AR, Luka, Kessler, Grimes, and LaRavia. I think that's a little small, actually, if I'm being honest. Thibault might be interesting as the 4. I think Thibault, you're going to really want it. Thibault has had so many injury issues over the last few seasons. I think you really want to
keep his minutes down, man.
Keep his minutes down. Tell him to take his time getting in season shape. Don't rush him into the season. He doesn't need to be available until
Christmas. Some durability until the playoffs.
Let him bake a little while. Let him marinate on that bench for a little while. He'll be fine. Let him get ready. Let his body get to where it needs to be to be able to play at the NBA level for like 40 games, half the season. I don't need him for any more than half the season.
Well, he also can guard so many positions
that's what I'm saying. He's going to be so.
He's really perfect for coming off of the bench.
He's got such versatility on the defensive end, and we're gonna need that. And if it's not there in the playoffs, we're gonna suck. Right. Let me put it that way.
Well, I also like the idea when you talk about the starters. If you start Williams at the 4, that leaves you with Sexton at the 1 and Mamu at the 5 on your second unit.
This comment brought to you by Sin Blades. Sin Blades, if you want to get rid of the grass in your yard and go plastic. But I would encourage you to keep some native plants, some other things to help the ecosystem continue to survive because we can't pave over nature. All right. And I know that's not what Joe does. Joe really saves water is what he does. So Joe's business is a water saving business. So if your water bill is high, consider Sin Blades. All right. I don't know about this comment though, but whatever. That's how it is. And it's not the 80s game where everybody kind of slow jogged up the court and ran a 20-minute half court set. It's much different now. You're just sprinting the entire game. All right. My top 5 would be clearly there's 3 that are. It's just that's what they're going to be. It's going to be Walker, Kessler at the 5, Luka at the 1-4, and Reeves at the 1-2. And when I say 1-2 and 1-4, point guard, plays a 4 is the point guard, plays a 2 is also the point guard. Those 3 are in the starting lineup no matter what. There's no way Reeves is coming off the bench. Anybody who's like, oh, maybe Reeves can come off the bench. Stop.
$30 million.
It's not happening. Stop.
You never get your money's worth.
You're not. Yep. Stop. You're an idiot. You don't get to comment on anything anymore. Your privileges have been revoked. That's how I feel about that. After that, for me, it really is a toss-up, and it comes back to, well, I haven't seen anybody play. If you're telling me I'm getting the first 2 months of Jake LaRavia last year, it's Jake LaRavia. If you're telling me I got the entire rest of the season from Jake LaRavia is one of my last players off the bench. The end of the season, LaRavia would.
It'd be interesting to see how Jake and Dalton shoot this year. Guys who lose confidence totally on their shot generally don't make it in this league.
Not scream loose to me.
I mean,
he just needs to go, and it's not his fault.
Well, he's got circumstances.
It's just not going to work.
You got a tough situation.
He needs a change of scenery, and I'm sure he'll do
okay. But listen, if one of them starts off hot and can shoot consistently from then on, I mean, it's an outlier for somebody to be able to do that, because I think a lot of guys who might have made it in the NBA are flushed out immediately because they don't start off shooting well.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I think it's one of my problems with the analytical model is that it doesn't measure some things. There's things that it can't measure.
It definitely is.
And that's true of any system. I don't care what system you deploy to measure like the worth of
including the eye test,
Yeah, no, all of it should be used. Not any one part of it should be used. It's all helpful. It's all useful.
And I think it's different contexts too. Different. Sometimes the eye test is more important. Sometimes analytics is more important.
This is great news. Thank you, Craig. This is October 5th is the first preseason game, 7 p.m. That's a good thing. It means we only have 2.5 more months of this to wait through before we get started.
Considering what's happened in the last few weeks,
we only have 2 more months of speculation, everybody. Yay. Speculative assumptions.
What else could happen to the Lakers?
Educated wishing.
What's the next crazy thing that could happen to the Lakers?
I don't know. We moved our G League team. We swapped owners. The family that had owned them since the 70s is no longer owning them. I suppose we could blow up the bus on Jackass.
Did you hear the NBA is negotiating with YouTube to carry all the local games for every franchise?
For free?
Probably not.
Yeah, well, that would be
something. This would replace all of the teams' local TV contracts.
Well, then I can quit my Spectrum.
And they said something about like there's 26 teams now that have agreed to this, meaning that there's 4 who said, wait a minute, give up our local TV contract.
I can tell you exactly which 4 teams those are. The Knicks, the Lakers, the Warriors. The 4th team, Miami? What would your guess be? I mean, I'm guessing
I'd probably match you on the first 3.
Philadelphia? Boston? Who's that 4th team? We'll know someday.
Interesting, yeah.
But I mean, I'll bet the valuation and the money that those 4 teams bring in is about equal to what the
yeah. Well, imagine if you averaged all of those 30 teams, what their revenue was, or what the revenue from their local TV contracts was. It would, the average probably, you multiply, they have to figure, let's say, how much do the Lakers get? What is a TV contract worth?
I don't know, but we didn't even get my starting 5, and my kid wants to go.
Okay, go ahead.
So let me get through this, and then we'll finish it up here. My starting 5: Kessler, Doncic, Reeves for sure. Like I said, after that, it's a bit of a crapshoot for me. I mean, there's a world where I kind of want to start our best defenders along those 2, and for me, that would be LaRavia, Vando. Like I said, Thibault, I'm putting on ice. It's not that I don't want Thibault to start. There's a world where I want us to start Thero. Like I just want to see what he's got. You know what I mean? Like, give the kid a month. What's the worst that can happen? We're 0-50 or whatever by the time the first, or 0-12 or 8 or however many games we play in that first month. Or Carr.
Like starting Rambus.
Huh?
Sort of like starting Rambus.
It worked.
That's why I brought it up.
It worked. So there's a world where I wouldn't mind.
Totally crazy. It's not totally crazy.
Not crazy. I mean, if he has a good preseason, if he has a decent where he's shooting okay, I'm not saying great, but okay, but he's doing everything else great. He's rebounding great. He's playing good defense. He's not making poor decisions with the basketball. He's not turning it over a lot. I would start to weigh strongly in terms of giving the kid a little bit of rope and see what he can do with it.
Summer league, though. Summer league and G League.
I don't care about G League.
Those don't translate.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm not that. I ignore that. That was great. It's a confidence builder at best.
Yeah.
It didn't. Reeves didn't.
He still looks like he's too far away from me to do that. But
let's see how he looks in training camp. Let's see how
training camp could change all this shit.
That's what I'm saying. If he has a good camp, that's literally what I said. I said if he has a good camp, right. And then you brought up summer league. I was like, I'm not.
That for almost everything.
But listen, we'll see. Like, I mean, knowing Redick, he's going to go with veterans first because he's that kind of guy, and most coaches are. That's not a Redick thing. That's a most NBA coaches.
And he's coaching for another new owner.
So he's not going to go too crazy out of the gate, I don't think. So I think that Thiero has. I think if I'm being honest, I think Vanderbilt has a better chance of starting than Thiero does on the team, and that's.
I think Vanderbilt has zero chance of starting on the team. Most coaches would keep Vanderbilt around just for in case of emergency type thing, one of those break glass players.
Yeah,
because you got somebody who's a pretty good defender, but JJ's convinced, and I agree with him 100% that you're playing 4 against 5 when you put Bando out there because he kills you on offense.
No, he's okay in the dunker spot. I disagree with that. He can't space the floor, no, but he's not. I don't think he's worthless.
Well, he got a little better. I saw some signs this year of some situations where he actually was able to score underneath. In the past, he's actually been intimidated trying to do that.
Well, I think what you're talking about are the first season he came back from having multiple foot surgeries, and I think that it took him about that long to get his lift back. I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, we'll see what comes through in camp. He's in Slovenia, so he can be a Laker. Now, if you're not in Slovenia, you can't be a Laker this season. So sorry, Jonathan Kuminga. It's not happening. You didn't make it.
What's kind of funny is the Lakers, if they traded anybody during the trip, that poor sucker would have to fly back.
I'm going to imagine that Luka said, you cannot trade anybody on my vacation with my team.
Yeah.
Can you just wait until we all get back? Can you make me that promise, Rob Plinka? And Rob,
somebody's got to be thinking, am I the 16th guy out? That they go to dinner and there's only 15 sittings.
All right, Tom, there's a question for you, and we'll end near this. Would Tom include Carr or Adu in a Kuminga trade? I don't think so.
I wouldn't include anybody I would trade Kuminga for Vanderbilt.
Yeah, exactly. I think Vando's the only player.
I do.
Yeah, I think you would. If you could put Vanderbilt and connect in a sign trade for Kuminga, I think most fans would do that. I wouldn't even do that. I have a very.
I'll throw out something that I add on to Kuminga, which we can end the show with.
But no, I don't want to do Kuminga. We started the show with Kuminga.
I know. We started the end of the guy.
Stop asking us about Jonathan Kuminga, everybody. We don't like him.
There's sometimes when you hope something doesn't happen and you expect that it's probably going to happen. That's what I'm thinking about Kuminga.
Oh.
And if if he happens, will Tom support the guy? Of course he will. He'll probably write an article about what a great opportunity it is that we got Kuminga for just, all of our draft pick. No, for like 2 second-round picks.
It's a waste.
And maybe Kuminga makes a bunch of good statements and so forth. So a little bit of my hatred on Kuminga and this deal with Kuminga going through is because I just really feel that we're stupid to not have every draft pick we got when the trade deadline comes around. Because you got a brand new roster, man, filled with guys that have never played for you before or never played with Luka before.
So who knows how it's going to work out.
But the other side of it is that there's a little bit of sometimes you root for things negatively because maybe they'll happen. I've been waiting for the Lakers to make a move, and they're just like frozen right now.
They made tons of moves. They remade the roster this
Listen,
summer.
if they only gave up 2 second-round picks, I could probably stomach it. And Kuminga said the right things, I could probably stomach it. But you know,
I don't care.
I'm happy to go with this Steers team. That tells me that was a good job that Rob.
I have a hard rule. You've heard it. I've said it 3 times on the show. I'm going to say it again. If you're not in Slovenia, you're not a Laker. Not this season anyway. Next season we'll see. It might be different.
Wait a minute. We can't have 16 players.
Well, yeah, no, they're going to have to waive connect.
So it also implies if you're in Slovenia, you're not necessarily a Laker.
It does imply. Anyway, for Laker Tom, I'm Jamie Sweet. This is Sydney Sweet. Do you want to say hi?
Hi, Sydney.
Hi.
What do you think about the Lakers?
I've never seen them.
What do you think about the Sparks?
I like them.
What are we doing today?
Going to the Sparks game.
That's right. Okay, I'll be right out. Okay.
Both dads are great.
Thank you. That's right. Anyway, I'm excited for preseason in 2.5 months. Nothing to do but speculate until then. I don't think there's going to be too many more moves made.
What do you give the season? What's your grade now that if we say that there's nobody coming on the team additionally? Because if you're not in Slovenia, you won't be on the team.
Not in Slovenia, you're not going to be on the team. You can only be
in that case. In that case, what do you think the record is? What's the grade for Rob and what's the record for the team?
Be off season. The record? I don't know. I mean, 68-ish games. We're going to lose like 14, 15 games next year. It'll be good for 4.
You think we're going to win 68 games?
Yeah.
Wait, is this Joe? Is that you wearing a wig?
No.
Come on, you can't be. We only won 53 games last year.
Yeah, I think that 68 is going to be. I think there's going to be more definition between winners and losers this year. I think that there's going to be.
How could you give a B grade when you got us winning 68 games?
Well,
that's not grade for anybody
because of the massive amount of draft picks and the hard capping that we did when we traded for Kessler. I think hard capping ourselves this summer was the biggest mistake we could have made. This was the one summer where you could have.
But you only got to spend $11 million more. That's the difference between the first apron and second apron.
Absolutely not. You could have gone well into the second apron to retain Reeves because we had his.
The second apron is only $11 million more than the first apron.
But you can go into the second apron as much as you want.
If you go over the second apron, the room within the second apron between the first and second is $11 million. I
understand that, Tom. What I'm saying
that's all you're going to get from being able to.
No, you're talking about stopping at or near the second apron. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you blow past the second apron. You keep Reeves. You max out Kessler. You can now offer LeBron 30, whatever you want, if you wanted to keep him. And if you were done,
you can't do that. That's illegal.
It's not illegal. There's no hard cap.
There is no hard.
There's not.
Yeah, you won't be able to trade. You'll become the Denver Nuggets, man.
For up until the trade deadline, when you can then start to move pieces that don't work anymore. Everybody thinks or seems to think, and I don't know if there's confusion or what. You don't get penalized. You don't get penalized on your cap positioning.
No.
Until the end of the season.
The rules change depending on your cap positioning. Because if you're over the second apron, you are limited in what you can do to try to get under it. That's what the Nuggets' problem is right now. They can't make the right move to get under the apron.
Next summer, you are not limited instantly. You are not.
You're limited right now for making moves.
No.
Until the trade deadline, you are. You're wrong, Jamie.
I might be wrong. I don't think I am. I don't think you get
penalized. You can't do that. I mean, listen. One of the early arguments that I made that for the Dodgers taking over the Lakers was that they'll pay the luxury taxes and won't worry about it. They'll blow past the first apron and go to the second apron. And then I checked that thing, and it's $11 million. You get to spend $11 million more by going over the first apron to the second apron. So that sign and trade just kept us from spending $11 million. That's all. And we're still $8 million under the first apron.
Don't believe that is factual because when you don't get penalized for being over the second cap the second apron. You don't get
You don't
penalized
your tax is only calculated on the last day of the season.
just for
But the rules that apply when you're over, if you're over the first apron, there's a bunch of rules. If you're over the second apron, there's a bunch of rules that apply that reduce your competitiveness. It's part of
the instant you get over, or at the end of the
the
season.
instant you get over. If you make it, you cannot make a transaction. The instant your transaction, it's where you stand at the end of the transaction that'll determine whether you can do it or not.
Still, $11 million would have been nice to spend. At any rate, I do think that we didn't need to send out those picks one way or another, and I'm sticking with my B grade. I think it's a very fair grade. I think it's a very
well,
fair
yeah, but if they let me tell you, if they win 68 games, Rob will be executive of the year. JJ will be coach of the year. Luka will be MVP, and Kessler probably will be defensive player of the year, and Austin Reeves will be an all-star first team.
Well, that for sure is happening. At any rate,
68 wins. Come on.
All right, fine. 48 wins. Does he feel better now?
That sounds like a Jamie bid.
I know. Anyway, I'm going to call it right here.
Actually, I love the 68 wins.
Yeah. I don't know what you're complaining about. It's very optimistic.
I think the Lakers are going to win 60 wins.
I think 60 is very fair. It's a
I
big.
think they got a shot at being a 60-win team,
which could,
and maybe the third or fourth best record in the league.
Third seed in the West. All the best teams are going to be out West except for maybe Philadelphia. Anyway, I'm Jamie Sweet. That's Laker Tom. Michael H. couldn't be with you. He's fleeing a hurricane. If you're in one of the places impacted by the ecological disaster that is planet Earth, I apologize. I'm sorry, and maybe you should vote to stop that. Anyway, see, Gerald, never going to stop. I'm never going to stop. You can't stop me. Nobody can. At any rate, no forwards. 5 years left on Lakers TV deal. Yeah, no, none of that's going away. I mean, they might do the YouTube thing, but the Lakers will not be giving up their $50 billion spectrum
advantage
anytime soon, and unless the league compensates.
Well, how about the Dodgers? The Dodgers have an exemption for their thing because they were bankrupt.
Money.
They don't have to include their revenue as part of the sharing thing.
No, it's smart. It's not fair, but smart. But baseball's so weird. Anyway.
Whole house built like that. Imagine.
The other reason Mark Wahlberg, a lot of that money is deferred. He is not paying the money that the team is worth every year. A lot of that money is paid off in the future, and you can sell it and not have to pay any of it. And that's why he's not selling.
Yeah, the next owner.
He will buy next year. I guarantee.
Listen, it'll affect the price. Probably why Mark hasn't sold it so far.
Yeah. Oh, hey, what's up, Daniel? All right. Well, Daniel, we're done. So thanks for popping by. And everybody have a wonderful Saturday afternoon.
Go Lakers.
Go Sparks. That's right. Go Lakers, go Sparks. Adios. Aloha from Michael.